lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio.
And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
What's going on, my good people? This is Charles McCutcheon. I'm your favorite entrepreneur. Welcome back to another session. We're going to talk, to me, is overall financial freedom, and I bring some insight of what I think you need to have to move along this journey. And today, it's like any other day to me, but it's Monday. And I will say this is a crazy statistic. I don't know the actual, the pinpoint number, but you can do your own due diligence and research. This number of over 70% of people on Monday, commit suicide. And it's crazy. It's like Monday is like a trigger for a lot of people. They say a lot of people are unhappy on Mondays. Why? Oh, my goodness. That is amazing. A lot of people, it's a lot of stress going on out there. So what I'm doing today, I'm going to give y'all some insights, some information. I want to make you some money. I hope that's okay with you. I'm going to bring something to you. I'm going to give y'all a few different steps that you can use, steps that I use, and I want you to be, less stressed out there. There's a lot going on, family. Everybody's going through it. No matter who you are, you're going to go through the ins and outs of life. Nobody's getting out of it until, it's your time. But still, it's crazy that just this Mondays are just like, wow, I didn't know it was as bad as it is, So don't quote me on the numbers. Just go check it out. No big deal. It's just information. So today I said I want to make y'all some money. I'm going to do just that. And I say that because I'm going to talk about books. I'm going to talk about book writing. I'm going to talk about you book writing as a stream of income. Talk about you book writing to where you can put it on Amazon for free and you can still make money. You book writing to where you can do an ebook and make money. You book writing to an ebook, put it on your webpage and make money. Put it on your business page or whatever. You can send it out. You send out content. We all have something inside of us. I don't know what's inside of you that you're an expert in. I don't know what that is. It's something that you don't really have to go back to school for, something that you can literally you can get on stage and you can have at it because you've been there, you've done that, you worked it 10, 15, 20 years or what have you, but you haven't actually packaged it up. Now, on the flip side of that, we have you as a person in your biography. You could tell your story. Every one of us have a story. And this is the way I look at it. I was speaking to a lady, and her story would bring some people to tears. And I'm listening to her story. I said, well, when are you going to put it out there? She said, well, I got to wait until this, and that. And I said, well, no, you don't. Because what you're doing, you're trying to wait until everything is perfect. And there's no such thing as perfection being a human. So you don't know when your story is going to end. So the best thing you can do is start writing your story, and if you have to put it out in series, do it that way. It just makes sense to me. And the thing I look at is if you have all these different I think kids today are lost. That's just me. But they're lost because of the generation before them and the generation before them. So I'm going to keep it at that. So my goal is to help kids out, and I think your goal should be to help out the generation before you out. And if you keep holding back your story, you're not. How are you helping them? That's all I look at. So you do it your way. I'm going to do it mine. I'm going to talk about book writing, and I have something out there called How to Write a Book in 5 Minutes Per Day. And let me clarify and put out this information, my disclaimer on this content that I'm about to give you. So as I was learning how to write books, I'm just sitting down trying to write. And, how we do, we just start writing, try to write from start to finish. and it was just taking a lot of time. I was getting confused. I was bungling, messing stuff up. And so I started looking out there for the different people who I consider experts in book publishing, writing, and all that kind of stuff. So I met a few people out there. One of them by the name of Jack Canfield. He and a few others, they wrote the Chicken Soup for the Soul series that, back in, oh my goodness, probably 2015 or 2014, they had made over 500 million. They sold over 500 million copies at that time. And so at that time, I was like, wow, I need to meet these guys. So I flew to California, met them, got some documentation there. Then I flew and I drove up to Maryland because I'm in Virginia. I drove up to Maryland to get some documentation from this guy up there who's a 5-time international bestseller. I went down to Florida, got another book writer, went to Dallas, got a New York Times bestseller. I was meeting all these people, seeing what they were doing and how could I do it. At first, I used to want to be a New York Times bestseller. I really did. And then I really peeled back the onion to figure out what it actually means and literally how much it costs. And it was impressive to be, to get to that level. Some people paid their way. Some people have it because of their notoriety and stuff like that. So I'm going to leave that one alone. Then up under that, there's a Wall Street Journal of, you could become, best-selling authors like the Wall Street Journal, and you have then the best-selling author. But neither here nor there, the best thing you can do, if I were you, I would write it and I would put it out there. But it depends, and people come to me all the time for writing books and stuff, and they say, well, how should I do this? What should I do? And my goal for everybody, and what I give to everybody, like, why do you want to do it? Why do you want to write a book if you want to write one? And the way I look at it is our mentors and people we look up to, they have books. So my thing is we should be following successful people. So if they have a book and you look up to them, why shouldn't you have one? Just my thoughts. So you do it your way. I'm doing it mine, but this is a stream of income that can actually lead to more income. And it doesn't take much to write a book. You can even speak and do a book. You don't have to write it or type it, but it has to come out. And I've seen people who have been writing books for the last 15 years and have not completed one book yet, but they're still on the same book. And that's, it is what it is. Good luck with that. So it's more of when you're starting your book, let's go step one. I'm a step guy. I like steps. Create the plan. Create your plan and what you want to do and how you want to do it. And it's really sitting down saying, okay, why do I want to write a book? Who's my audience? You start to reach all those different things to figure out, where you're going with your book. Like, what's your objective? What would you like to accomplish as a result of you writing this book? Do you just want to write it like a lot of people and let it collect dust? Do you want to get radio? Do you want to get TV? Do you want to get interviewed? Do you want to build more clientele? You want to get speaking engagements? You want another stream of income? There's so many different things that you can look at. So I tell business owners, that can get you more clientele just by having a book. So if you're a business owner, it don't make sense to me, but, it's not. Everybody does it differently. Who's your target audience? Like, if you are a business owner and you have a business selling women products, your target audience is not going to be men. And I see a lot of people doing that, trying to sell to men, and I'm like, we don't buy that stuff. I'm not in hair care products and makeup. That's not what I do. So you're going to get a small select few of men that's what they do. But I'm saying you need to have somebody figure it out for you, or you're going to have to do it. And it's all marketing. You figuring out your target audience. Like, what age are you selling to? What's the sex, the gender, the education level, the income, the marital status? Why are you? Those things should be considered. And I figure it to be this: you have to solve a problem. It's always good to solve a problem. Like, what do they need? What problems do they have, and how can you help them? And when you can, I tell people this all the time: when you can solve a problem, people will come to you. And they'll come to you and be like, hey, I have money. I'll pay you for your knowledge to a certain extent. People will come to you if you have knowledge. And people will come to you in another light to say, hey, let me pick your brain. And some people will try to pick your brain for 30 hours. And some people will let them. Don't let anybody pick your brain for 30 hours. Next try. If you spent thousands of dollars on your education, I think it's okay for them to pay you for your education because you spent the money. There's nothing wrong with giving consulting fees, but if you're giving a consulting fee to the same person, you done already spent 10, 20 hours with these people, it's time for them to start coughing up money because your time is so valuable. There's nothing we have more, that's better than our time. So do that. No matter what you do, like I said, I got people that's been writing for over 15, 20 years, and they haven't finished one book yet. You have to start the writing process. You have to keep it in a place you can get to it and have access to it. So it's not something that you're just going to some people have scraps of pieces of paper all over the place, and they're still trying to figure out what they're doing. That's because they didn't set the plan out and put it in a place that they can get to it. You have to develop, your chapters. That's what I did when I started out. I said, okay, what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about real estate. I still have my first outline in my real estate book. I said, I want to talk about real estate. And then from there, I said, okay, what about real estate do I want to talk about? So I talked about the different industries. I talked about wholesaling. I talked about lease options. I talked about the money. I talked about the contracts. I talked about all this different stuff in real estate to where somebody, not somebody, but myself or somebody reading it can have a better understanding. So I had different chapters, and I broke that down. And then under the chapters, I broke down sub-chapters so I can have a better understanding. Okay, I want to talk about wholesaling, but what about wholesaling? So it's things that you just got to keep breaking down, and then you may have a sub-chapter, and then under that, you may have a sub to that sub-chapter. So you have to keep breaking it down. It's almost like the outlines we used to do when we used to do, write in school. The same type outline. It's the same type you can do for your book. And then, after you finish all that, you answering really questions about your book as you go along, looking at the chapters and the sub-chapters and asking questions as you go along. And then you get to a point to where you can publish your work. I'm not a publisher. I find people who are. I feel it's best to just stay in my lane. And I see people that's trying to write books. They're trying to publish. They're trying to self-publish. They're trying to be the artist to their cover of their book. They don't want to pay anybody to edit. And you can do all that. By all means do it. Or you can scrape up a little bit of money and pay an editor, or go to a university where some of those people will do it for free. But you got to do it somewhere. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I think a lot of people want to be perfect to the point where they never do anything. Show me a perfect person. I'm telling you, they probably haven't done a doggone thing, and you won't find anybody that's perfect. Even in your book, you probably have 1 or 2 or 3, 4 or 5 mistakes. It's okay. Did you get the book out? Is the book done? Yes or yes. It's all about getting the book done, period. So what I did is I had people who designed my cover, but if you do it via Amazon will design your cover, and it's very simple. Very simple. I went in there and started picking pictures. That's what I did. I chose some, they have some quality pictures on there. And, you already have your audience, so you want to make it to where when they see it, they kind of know, because the book, the cover can draw people in, in the title. So a lot of people get caught up in their title when they're starting their book. And I'm saying, forget about the title. Write the doggone book first. Write the book first. Then at the end, you can ask for help. Or as you're going along, you ask for help. But you can get titles from somebody. It's not like it's the end-all, be-all. And, you've been thinking 3 months on the same title. No, maybe it should be this. Or you haven't written anything. So it's all that time is just wasted. So you have to have what I was given when I went out to California to talk to Jack Canfield is a 90-day plan. And I was like, wow, I didn't know it was this deep. They gave me a 90-day plan. And I was like, really? I'm just going to write this thing and upload it. I thought that's what I was going to do. And so what that taught me was, a lot of us just write the wrong way because you don't know what you don't know. So you have to be able to get on, put yourself in a position to where it's at least well written, not that many mistakes, because that turns people off as well. But, a mistake is a mistake. Oh, well, you live with it. You keep going on. So you have to be able to put all that stuff together. I was taught when I was up in Maryland how to make over $34,000 before my book is written. And I was like in awe, like, you have got to be kidding me. That's what we doing today. And I said, yes, and they showed me, they broke it down for me. And I said, and the funny thing is this, so I'm teaching people how to write books. So I got this guy, he had already written his book. He didn't have it published or anything like that, but he had written it, and he wrote it. And next thing you know, he said, hey, man, I just want to go ahead and put it out there. I said, that's fine. I said, did you want to make any money before you put it out there, before your book is, released? He said, yeah, I want to make money. I said, okay, well, it's a few things that we got to, we have to go through. He was like, yeah, I get that, but I still just want to put it out there. I said, well, you can't have it both ways. Either you want to make money before your book is out there, or you're going to pay somebody to edit and do all those other things with your book. So which direction you want to go? He said he just wants to put it out there. Well, no, by all means, thumbs up, go ahead and get it done. So with your book comes speaking engagements, of course. And so a lot of people are scared to speak, but if somebody's going to pay you $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 to speak, I think that's okay. What if you got, $10,000 to speak for an hour? Would that be all right? So with that being said, you have a thing called a media kit. You have with your book, and a media kit is more of, they're just seeing who you are as a person, what type of book you have, and you put that out there. So you go to all these different venues and you drop off information. It's like we have this thing called a one-pager, and you dropping that off everywhere you go. Boom, 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 boom. Saying, hey, this is what I do, this is what I speak on, and you dropping off your speaker sheet. That's what it's called. Dropping off your speaker sheet. So a media kit is a speaker sheet and a couple more things involved in it. It's going to help you to be seen, and it's very professional. I got some people that do it for me. I don't do it. I did my own before, but that's not what I do anymore. So I will hire somebody quickly. A lot of people don't want to do a press release. I'm actually going to be doing one outside of the book. I'm going to be doing one for the buying into the homes for my nonprofit, 97 unit multi-family motel out in Oklahoma. So I'll be doing a press release on that. You can actually get paid for chapters in your book. You don't have to write. I mean, you wrote a whole book, but some people just want a chapter in your book, and they'll pay $7, $8, $9, $10 just for a chapter in your book, and that's crazy. But if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. So I sold thousands of books. I became a bestseller back in 2016. I partnered with some folks, and you can do that as well. You can partner with some people who are already bestsellers in the hopes that it's going to get you to being a bestseller quicker, maybe. And just being a bestseller, to me, what it means is I did CNBC, CNN, Fox News, and now I'm going to turn around and set myself up. I'm working on something right now. It's another book for high school students and college students, basically going to put stuff in the book that I didn't receive when I was in school, from business to business credit to taxes to just doing your credit to how to get funded, how to be an entrepreneur. So I'm putting a lot of content in there. It's going to be packed with content. That's why I speak at these different universities. They don't know it yet, but it's coming. And I'm about to go back and be like, all right, my book is done. I need you to purchase. So this 90-day book program is serious. And I was like, wow, this is like doing a book on, you like with your hair on fire doing this book. But you have to build marketing into your book. Nothing happens, no business happens without marketing. That's just what it happens. So, like I said, you can do it yourself. You can try to figure it out, or you can pay some folks. And for me, I'm going to pay somebody all day, every day. So there's a pre-launch that a lot of people don't do. So it's you asking for influencers, people who can like put your book out there, running Facebook ads or running ads on social media, getting your stuff out there. Then you got to launch that thing. Once you launch it, there's a specific launch strategy you can use. Hopefully, using somebody who understands the book market, who understands marketing, who understands books. That's big. So there's different things. You can raise the prices. You can give away. What I do is give away free books for probably the first 24 hours maybe, and then you do a free promo, and then you go out there and you start charging for books. And I used to think that, I want to sell all these books. It's going to be all great. Then I started listening to other people that had books. They was like, no, give them away for free. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. But there's a concept behind giving it away for free. You have to be, I think you have to be to a certain level, and then next thing you know, you start doing, giving away for free. So you have to do pre-marketing. You have to do post-marketing. You have to create your plan. You got to write your book. You got to get reviews to make sure that people are on board and know that your book is coming out. You have to figure out like where you want to publish, who you want to publish your book, and how do you want to sell your book? Where do you want to sell your book? And what do you want your book to do for you? That's like so huge. A lot of people say, I don't know. Well, if you don't know, neither do I. How am I supposed to help you if you don't know what you want to do? So that's like books in a nutshell. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm not going to be too long today, but that's one stream of income. And let me just shift over real quick because I'm not going to do another show on this one, not books. But when you write a book, what happens is you have your book, and this happens to me and happens to a lot of people. You have your book, and you say, oh, wow, can you come speak to us on that? And you're like, sure. And now people will say, hey, can I pay you to come and speak? And you're like, oh, wow, sure. And now you're getting paid to speak, y'all. Happens to me all the time. I just got back from Atlanta. I'm going out to I'm going to Florida. I'm going to be in Texas. I'm going to be in Oklahoma, here in Virginia. It's just, engagements happen all the time. Some of I usually take this, I take what I can just to make it happen because I take a lot of radio shows. I take a lot of people. I just had an interview right before I got on this call. Somebody interviewed me, and we talking real estate and what I do and stuff like that. So it's more of people reaching out to you once they see you do credible work and you put your name out there. You can. This is not for me. This is from Les Brown. He said you can literally make $75,000 to $100,000 per year just off of your products and services alone, outside of what you're going to make during speaking engagements. And if you just look, let's just lowball this thing right quick. And I'm a numbers guy, so let's say you got paid just $2,000, right, to speak. Let's say you did that, and I'm just gonna say 6 times out of the year. 6 times you spoke 6 times out of the year, 2,000. So you made an extra $12,000. What could you do with an extra $12,000? And that's really lowballing this, y'all. This is like if you only spoke 6 times out of an entire year, that's almost like not trying. I'm gonna just be honest with you. If you really want to go for it, you can probably schedule something once per week. And let's say they only gave you $250. Is that okay? It's $250 like every week. $250 times 4, that's $1,000 a week. And then you just do the math. So that's still at $12,000 if you chose to do that. But as you go along, you're going to get better. And more people are going to see you. You're going to get better. And then you can say, okay, well, I'm going up to $2,000 or I'm going to $5,000. Now, let's imagine they start paying you $5,000 and you still only did 6 per year. 6 speaking engagements per year at $5,000 is $30,000. Come on, family. Stay with me here. So let's do it a little bit better. Let's say you got, I got my big one. I got $6,000. And now you start speaking a little bit more. You do more than 6. Let's say you only did 10. I'm gonna go lower than that. I'm going to say you did 8. 6,000 times 8 speaking gigs for the entire year. That's $48,000. That's close to the average income of people working a 9 to 5. Just telling you what I know. So, 8 speaking engagements, and literally a lot of these are going to be an hour, hour and a half. So let's do math. You got 8 speaking engagements. At the low end, you did an hour of work. You stood up there and spoke to people for 1 hour. So you spoke for 8 hours and made $48,000. That's crazy. It took you a day's work, 8 hours, a day's work to make $48,000, and you have some people that will work an entire 365 days in a year, 365 days in a year, and make the same amount of money. Ooh. Think of that. That's crazy, right? That is amazing to me. That's like, imagine how much time you saved yourself. You only worked 8 hours. Let's say you kept your full-time day job. Is that okay? You keep your full-time day job and you make an extra $48,000 on top of what you're doing, minus a lot of people out there working for an entire year, 8,760 hours. Imagine that. So imagine you work 8,752 hours. That's what everybody else is working, and you work 8. So, do you want to speak? That's on you. You know, speaking, we're going to do it anyway, so you might as well get paid for it. That's what Les Brown told me. And writing a book, you have a story inside of you that you can put out there, or that's another stream of income. So I just gave y'all 2 streams of income, really 3 streams of income, because the chapters in your book, you can actually sell those chapters. Some people would rather buy a chapter from you from $7.99. Now let's imagine you have 10 chapters, right? 10 chapters, and somebody's like, no, I don't want to buy the whole thing. I'll just buy a chapter here and a chapter there for $7.99. So now they just paid $80 for your book. Imagine that. When they could have got it for like $20, but they wanted to get a chapter apiece. So I just gave y'all 3 streams of income, and I hope that's okay. And the only thing I give y'all is what I've already done and what I'm doing. I don't give y'all anything else. I give you what I've already done and what I'm doing. All right? I hope that's going to help somebody. The thing is, you know, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power until it's used effectively, right? So I can give all this great information. If you don't do anything with it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just telling y'all straight up. So, Ms. Kimmy, I do want to thank you for doing everything that you do for this organization, for Elation Radio, Elation Magazine, and everything that's up and coming, like the November 15th weekend, how it's going to be a blast already. And I know that people are going to get their everything early, only because of how many people showed up last year. And it was the very first one. And I know the city is on board, and that's a plus. That's like so great to get the city on board for anything you do. And they actually give you the key to the city is like, well, probably not the key to the city. I know they made a proclamation for the city. I don't want to misspeak. The key is coming later. I just spoke it into existence. It is what it is. So I do want to thank you for everything. Anybody who want to get in touch with me, I'm all over social media. Charles McCutcheon, CharlesMSpeaks@yahoo.com, or Links Realty LLC at Gmail. And I do have a professional business email as well, but I'm not going to get that out. But anyway, so I'm all over social media. It's just all over. You can find me. Charles, I'm not hard to find. You know, people can find me all over. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pray us out. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray to you right now to bless everyone who's going through the trying times. I pray for their strength, their unity, and their empowerment. I know it may feel like everything is not coming together fast enough for them. Frustration has set in, and most people tend to believe that it won't get any better. Dear Father, let everyone know that everything happens in your time. I know that you'll provide the strength everybody needs, and I know that it will be right on time when they need it. Father God, you're all-knowing. I know we must believe in you and trust in you, because we will get weak, but we must continue to keep the faith in these trying times. Please ensure that we manifest the destiny that you have set out and the glory that you've given us and everything that you set forth in our lives, Father God. Ensure that we use up all the territory that you've given us, and then you'll give us more. I pray for everybody for more strength. I pray for everybody for more wisdom. And I pray that everybody knows that joy comes in the morning. In your name, I pray, amen. This is Charles McCutcheon. I'm your favorite entrepreneur. I'm hungry, and nobody, I mean nobody, is going to stop me on this journey. And I want to bring as many people with me as possible. Y'all take it easy until next time.
Wanna share my soul,
This is for men, this is Ali. This is for men, cause this God breathes. Yeah, the Holy Spirit, hope you hear it. Things look clearer when you look in the mirror. Walking down the valley cause he led me. Fed me from the pages with the red ink. Translated for my boys with the rock ready. Heat under the seat inside the box Chevy. Listen man, I was asleep, I was dead. Been transformed, I'm a sheep, now I'm led. Away from the edge, gotta do what it said. You're not tuned in to the bed. I got soul. He gave me so much soul.
He gave me too much soul.
I'm just a king with a dream. So it seems on the Lord I'ma lean. So
You got
soul.
We got
I finished breakfast, now back to the message. Let's take it way back to my mama's Lexus. In 96, I let it knock just for the beat. It was a beat, tan brown with butter seats. I'm far from a hermit, drive with just a permit. 15 and swerving, all I got to learn is a little big and pop. Say what teach. I played Marvin Gaye through the Maywood Street. What's going on is not a secret of mine. The good Lord said if you seek, you would find. Fast forward years, I'm the preacher in line with rhymes that can speak to the time. I got soul. He gave me so much soul.
He gave me too much soul.
I'm just a king with a dream. So it seems on the Lord I'ma lean. So
You got
soul.
We got
And the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground. And he breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And the man became what it become, man. A living soul. That's right. But Lord Sweat call that summer me. I'm fly man, winter, fall, summer, spring. Young boys call me old school. They say I'm so cool and I'm no fool. They like the perspective I seem to bring. I guess that's how it is when you sing some things. Cause I've been high, atop of 10 terraces. I've seen men die, seen men perish. Still never losing focus, of course. My eyes on the throne, my hopes in the Lord. He gives keys that can open the door. And he's about to open it more. I got